The Quest 3 is finally here, so is it any good? The Quest 3 has two LCD displays at 2064 by 2208 pixels per eye, meaning that the resolution is about 30% better than the Quest 2. So when I got to try the Quest 3 hands-on in New York the other week, the graphics were just pretty good. Like nothing earth-shatteringly amazing or anything, but it was noticeably better than the Quest 2. I will say that I only had about an hour with the Quest 3, so I can't really do like a full review on this, but I'm going to tell you about my first impressions. But really, the star child of the Quest 3 is mixed reality. I mean, we've been bombarded everywhere by mixed reality, and Meta has been saying that mixed reality is going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. To try mixed reality in a solo experience, but also in a multiplayer experience. For my solo experience, I played something called First Encounter, where aliens like slowly start invading your room, and the mixed reality was so good. I think the word I want to use here is vibrant. It was just beautiful. I mean, it was really night and day from like the Quest 2 and even the Quest Pro. The mixed reality is so colorful and looks really good, and if developers use this feature properly, I think we're going to see a whole new way of people playing virtual reality. Now, where mixed reality really shines is in the multiplayer mixed reality experiences, or when you're playing VR mixed reality in a room with other people. Usually when you put on VR, it's like a blindfold. You're basically completely isolated from the rest of the world. But when mixed reality actually looks good and is full color, it's oddly refreshing to be able to see your environment while being in VR. Like when I played the multiplayer mixed reality game called BAM with Nacy, Techmandrew, and Fluffy Says, it felt like we were playing the most interactive board game / video game. Since I could see everyone around me, I could not only interact with the people that I was playing this game with, but also the creators that were just hanging out around us that weren't even playing this game. For example, like when Mateo was doing his mixed reality multiplayer experience and he was in the headset, I was on the side talking to a wolf in VR and Techman. And during our conversation, Mateo kept like shouting out and interjecting into our conversation while he was playing VR. And that would never happen normally, but because mixed reality on this is so good, you can actually interact with conversations outside of VR while you're in VR. But obviously, we'll need to see like what kind of mixed reality games and apps that come out on the Quest 3. Because if you remember, when the Quest Pro came out, it had eye tracking and face tracking, but pretty much this feature was completely useless everywhere except Horizon Worlds. So I'm hoping that all this effort that Meta is putting into mixed reality actually gets used and doesn't just become like a dead feature that they introduce. Okay, so a 30% upgrade in graphics and beautiful full color mixed reality is really great and all, but we all know what the biggest problem is with virtual reality, right? It's comfort. So the Quest 2 was basically unusable unless you got like a trillion gazillion accessories. And honestly, all those accessories can really add up in price. So speaking of price, the Quest 3 is $500 for 128 gigabytes or $650 for 512 gigabytes. The question becomes, can you actually play the Quest 3 right out of the box for $500? Or do you need to spend another $100, $200 after buying the Quest 3 on accessories just to be able to play on it? And I am happy to say that the Quest 3 was actually surprisingly very comfortable. Like surprisingly comfortable because it still uses that fabric strap, unlike, the Quest Pro that has this halo design. I think it's because the Quest 3 actually uses like pancake lenses, which makes the front a lot thinner and it's just better for weight distribution and balance. Also, the Quest 3 has a split design on the strap on the back, which I'm pretty sure helps with weight distribution. There's some other really neat design features that Meta incorporated into the Quest 3 that will really improve your quality of life. For example, you no longer need a separate spacer for glasses because it's built into the headset itself. There's also a lens distance adjustment wheel, so you can fine-tune the distance between the lenses so that it matches much better with your actual eye distance. That will give you much clearer graphics. Speaking of crisper graphics, the Quest 3 also features the new Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2, meaning apps and games should load faster and just run much more smoothly. There is also a 40% increase in audio volume from the Quest 2, so you should be able to hear everything a lot better while playing your games. The FOV is also increased by 15% from the Quest 2, so everything should feel a lot more immersive just because you have that wider range of view in your peripherals. The controllers also no longer have the rings that the Quest 2 have, so you'll be able to put your controllers closer together without hitting them or possibly breaking them. The Quest 3 honestly is packed with so many new features, and my first impression was really positive. I had a great experience with this. I am going to get the headset as soon as it comes out, so subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any Quest 3 content, and I'll see you next time. Bye!